Hello everybody and welcome back to another Jurassic World Chaos Theory video. It's been a little bit of a while since we did the last one. I think our last one was just the previous trailer. But we've got a new trailer, guys, and I'm filled with the hype again. So let's first take a look at the trailer and then break down Austin will go into his work. So let's get into it. The trailer in 3, 2, 1... Yes, the classic Jurassic horror musical.
You said you'd be here.
Oh, oh boy. That's awful. Dun dun
It wasn't
dun.
your fault.
I had met her that night. Then
No, that's why I'm here. I've been reading some stuff in Dark Jurassic. Brooklyn's death was no accident. She was targeted.
Is she really
Who would
dead,
even
though?
want to do that?
I don't know for sure, but whoever
Yeah,
killed Brooklyn's
everybody.
coming after the rest of us too. We need to warn the others. Sammy? Kenji?
Sam? Oh.
Yes?
Nice.
We've got a problem.
We're
Ooh,
all
a new
in
figure.
danger. And whoever is hunting us, they're using raptors to do it.
Raptors? For real?
Oh, yeah. Not just any, the Atrociraptors.
They found us.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. Oh, I love ghosts. Run, Sammy,
I saw Miss
run!
Matt Brooklyn left with a note.
Where was she going?
This site is tracking the location of a bunch of dinosaurs. How many people are in on this?
We need a plan.
It's global, buddy.
Want to make a little chaos?
Yeah, sure, yeah, let's do it. Oh, Pachyrhinosaurus. Oh, what the f- What the hell? Oh. Ooh, we got
This is
Big
really
Edie.
happening.
Yeah.
I think it was.
It's happening.
Oh boy. Are we gonna get another Rex fight? Okay, so now that you've gotten that, Breakdown Austin, take over. Rexy, can you get us there? Thank you, Rexy, for delivering us to the next portion, which let's just get straight into it. First, let's talk about this opening, which starts off with the Fallen Kingdom second trailer, Jurassic horror little lullaby sort of thing, which they just love using that to basically say this is going to be darker, which I'm all for because I prefer the dark stuff. And it starts off pretty dark as we see that Brooklyn is going to have an unfortunate situation with an Allosaurus. Not just any Allosaurus, as the trailer itself reveals that this Allosaurus is the one from Battle at Big Rock. We talked about this long ago in a previous video on which one it could be, and due to some toy marketing unfortunately leaking in the fact, we learned that it was going to be the Battle of Big Rock, but this is the first time in the trailer that we really get to see it. The previous trailer only gave us a small glimpse of the Allosaurus, which we see that same shot in this as well, but no, Brooklyn is in a far worse state as she's calling out saying, Darius, I thought you were going to be here, which means something must have gone wrong. Maybe he was late or something, or missed her, or didn't get the message, and something happens, and then she turns around and staring right at her, with its good eye at least, is the Allosaurus, and she screams in terror as it roars and possibly kills her, as the trailer implies that she is the tragedy that the other campers were going with. Here's the thing, the trailer gives no guaranteed confirmation, because until we see a body, or until we see the full situation, once we have the show, we can't guarantee that she's actually dead. She may have just been captured because we'll talk about it in other videos, but also mainly the Beckles Spinax actually has a connection that may imply why she might not be dead. But we'll get into that after. So after this situation with Brooklyn, we see that Ben is comforting Darius and saying it's not his fault. He on the other hand is saying he should have been there and now she's dead, but this is where we get the bombshell reveal for the whole plot, which is that they are being hunted by someone else, which was talked about in the first trailer as well, but now it's clearly they are being hunted and tried to be killed by someone. And if we look on it, they go on the Dark Jurassic, which is tracking down dinosaurs, And if we continue on, we see that there is a global map on the dark web, and right now it's showing the US with dotted marks, which, much like the Jurassic World DFW website showcasing dinosaur situations all over the world, which I think that website's still up, I hope it is at least, it's showing situations that are occurring. Or, since it is Dark Jurassic, it might even involve some conspiracy theories and other things, which we can talk about in another video if I have the time. If we continue on, they talk about how they're going to have to get everyone back together, and we get our first look at all the characters, which first let's start with Sammy, and she's doing this, like, classic TV trailer pose, I guess you can say, where she's looking at the camera, and is standing in a pose of like, I'm ready to go. But also behind her we can actually see a Stegosaurus, so that's nice. Then we see Kenji rock climbing, actually, which, I gotta say, it's gonna be definitely interesting seeing Kenji's side of this, because we can already see that throughout this trailer, we see that Darius is definitely gonna have a bit of trouble with Brooklyn's quote-unquote death, but since Kenji is her boyfriend and such, and they had a much deeper relationship, it makes me wonder what's going to be like for him. And also his dynamic with Darius in this season, because it doesn't imply that they are living together anymore, which was one thing that I was wondering about when the first trailer came out. So because of that, it's going to be really interesting with his character, and considering that of all the characters, he's probably gotten the most character growth throughout Camp Cretaceous of all of them, in my personal opinion. I really hope we get much more of him as well. And then we get Yasmina, which we can't really see anything behind her because it's all out of focus, but it does showcase some sort of fencing, so maybe this is someplace she's working with Sammy, since they were together last we saw as well, which we don't know if they are still, but if they aren't, then that'll be interesting as well. Then, if we move on, we get a mysterious figure who is phoning someone saying they have a situation to deal with, and it's clear from his expression that he's probably not a good guy, or might be someone who is, untrustworthy to start with. I'm not sure who this is. He doesn't really look like anyone familiar. When I first watched this trailer, I thought it was maybe Mr. Khan, but then we see him later in the trailer where, get this, Kenji frickin' decks a Atrociraptor. Damn! And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, damn, that's badass. He's changed a lot. Definitely. But we see this figure again later on, which we'll talk about shortly, but if we continue on, we get some more looks at the campers, and not only that, in the shot with Darius, Ben, and Sammy as a vehicle approaches, which most likely will probably be other campers maybe they're all meeting up here, we actually see, in not only the back shot, but also the front shot, Bumpy. We see Bumpy's outline, which is the only time in the trailer we actually see this. And considering something we saw later on in the trailer, something with Manticore Island must have happened, which, again, we'll talk about in another video. But, yes, Bumpy is back and is on the mainland now, so that's very impressive, which also in some ways might actually allow for that little Ankylosaurus scene at the end of Dominion to definitely confirm that may have been Bumpy. So we don't know what Bumpy's fate's going to be, but because the trailer doesn't show too much of her, maybe she won't actually have that big of a plot. After all, there was some talks months ago that there was going to be a new baby dinosaur taking her place or something. I'm not sure if that's actually true. It was just rumors going around, so if it is, then interesting. If not, then it just makes me wonder what's going to happen to Bumpy, because this is all we see of her. And we see some fellows looking down, and from the look of this, it seems to be the bridge which the Beckel Spinax attacks the camper. Move on a little bit further in the trailer, we actually see more of the Beckel Spinax and the vehicle, which, yes, it actually showcases the Beckel Spinax while it's attacking them going over the bridge, and unfortunately this implies that it also will be the last time we see this Beckel Spinax in the show, as it's also falling in. And when a dinosaur that's attacking our characters falls into a dangerous situation, it's usually the last time we see that dinosaur, unless it goes full Magneto on us and declares, anyway, we see these figures are looking over, which implies that we are going to see the return of a certain device that was in Jurassic World Dominion, as well as Chaos Theory Season 4 and 5, and that is the control chips, because those were highly important to the plot for those 2 seasons, and most importantly, they had a major importance to the finale of Jurassic World Dominion, which, since that's the case, I think that this Beckel Spinax might actually be controlled by one of them, which wouldn't be surprising considering how it's acting, and to the point that it was acting so crazy that it caused itself to fall off of a bridge. That may have an important fact. But we won't get into it too much. I'll talk about it along with other things in other videos, don't you worry. But where you see that these figures are following them, and we get Ben mentioning that they're being hunted by raptors by these strange people, which gets everyone's attention, but it's not the velociraptors, ladies and gentlemen. No, it is, as we hear a whistle blow from this mysterious figure, which, again, I know I say this a lot, we'll talk about it in another video, but I think we all know who this woman is. She is blowing a whistle, and then here comes the Atrociraptors once more. And we get this nice scene with Sammy feeling very Lockwood-like, giving very Fallen Kingdom vibes with the Lockwood estate and the Indoraptor, as she's creeping around her. It might be her house, it might not be, it's somebody's building. But we see that there is one of the Atrociraptors in there, or just the feet of a raptor. She's not sure yet. But as she sneaks around trying not to make any sound, she unfortunately hits a rake, which, I mean, other than what the heck is their rake just doing in the middle of a hallway, which I guess that's a thing, which gives a nice it gives a nice atmosphere to this moment. I gotta say, they're really showing that this is going to be much darker than Camp Cretaceous, even for Season 3 most likely, which I'm all for. I always love the darker stuff. In fact, I would die to have a horror movie version of Jurassic, some way, more horror novel moments. Like if they give us copies eating people like they did in the novels, even the baby, yes, I would be like, oh damn, this is awesome. But then, as the rake falls, we get the reveal that it is Ghost, the Atrociraptor, which so far is interesting. The trailers have only shown the first 3 Atrociraptors, Ghost, Tiger, and Panthera, but we haven't seen Red at all. At least not that I'm seeing. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I haven't seen Red at all, and this... Oh no, this might actually be Tiger, actually. There's some stripes, but the lighting does imply it might be Ghost. I think it's Tiger, I could be wrong. It's either Tiger or Ghost due to the lighting. I'm gonna go with Tiger because of... No, the eyes are yellow, it is Tiger. Okay, my mistake, it's not Ghost, but we see Ghost later in the trailer, and Sammy just starts running for her life out the door in a nice POV sort of shot, which we haven't really seen in Jurassic in a while, at least not to my memory, which I miss those kinds of shots. They're nice horror styled. And then we get a map reveal for Darius and Sammy, actually, that apparently Brooklyn had, which, of course, the majority of this is all, like, garbage squiggles, so you can't actually read them, or some are so out of focus that you can't, but the only one we can read properly, in proper English writing for Brooklyn, is called Dino Nerd, which might be another character who, it might actually be a character that we saw in the trailer earlier, and also the one who was with Kenji as he decked an Atrociraptor. Then we see Sammy and Ben actually go to this bridge, which we've seen multiple times, and it's completely fenced off, which it looks like it's a small piece of land in the middle of a lake, so it might be an isolated location that could be the start of a black market operation going on. Darius, as we see, is taking pictures of the dark web, which is very dangerous. I hear that can get him into lots of trouble, but, I mean, this is Darius, who cares? And then we get a look at what I'm 99% sure is a baryonyx, which, looking at it, actually, yes, it is. It looks very much like Chaos, actually, which, considering all the live-action ones do have the color palette that is like Chaos, that does make sense. But if it's actually Chaos, that would be a really cool moment and such. And also, he's not looking too good as he's getting zapped in transferring from one truck to another, which I gotta say, why are you switching the trucks while they're awake and such? Just use the same truck, you weirdos. But anyway, we get our first look at baryonyx, which means we're getting at least 2 of the Spinosaurids. We're getting baryonyx and Suchomimus, because we know that Suchomimus is returning. And from what I've heard, I saw on social media someone made a post, I'm not 100% sure if this is true, but apparently some of the versions of the trailer outside of the US and Canada and some of the general places might actually be getting alternate footage, which showcases the Suchomimus, which I haven't found any pictures of yet, but if I do before I'm finished editing, I'll probably insert them later. But if we move on from this situation, we see that Kenji is looking into a warehouse that is full of cages and also some figures down there, which most likely all of these hold dinosaurs or something. They got something in here. Most likely it is dinosaurs. So, very suspicious. And then we get this truck passing by the Nublar's 5's van, which we get a little blurry out of focus shot, but we can definitely see some stegosaurs. And then as Darius gives an expression of pure fear, which we'll talk about later maybe, we get the reveal of the Allosaurus and the first official shot of it with the blind eye, which I gotta say looks absolutely awesome. Like, I love when they show like a blind or partially blind dinosaur. I think that's why the Therizinosaurus is so awesome. And the Allosaurus in Battle of Big Rock, just the way they behave, that's so methodic and such. It's so nice. And then we see some of the campers, all of them. No, not all of them. Ben's not there. We see them just making their stand, and Kenji's got a pipe, so he's ready to bash some more dino brains, or hopefully people's brains in. Which, I mean, mad respect to him. And then Darius is diving for what appears to be a gun, maybe a tranquilizer gun most likely, and do the environment we'll talk about in a minute. Then we see a truck spinning around after going through a gate. Shots of the Atrociraptor again, and then we get the little movie or TV cliche line of, and you want to make a little chaos, very TV, very trailer-like, just, oh my god. And then we get our beautiful look at the absolutely adorable chubbiness that is the Pachyrhinosaurus, which, it's interesting that it's taken so long for this guy to come, because, like, we were supposed to get him, of course, in Fallen Kingdom, and then that was switched out for Sinoceratops, which I was for, because I love Sinoceratops, but now we finally got him, and he looks absolutely great. I love the coloring, and as you can see, we have some people they're looking at not the Pachyrhinosaurus, they're looking at something else that's got them all scared, but if we look on the vehicle on the left, you can actually see that it is a DFW vehicle, which means that Darius is working with the DFW most likely on rounding up some dinosaurs, of course, but they're going to have to wait on this Pachyrhinosaurus, as in the corner of the frame you can see the jaws and teeth of the Allosaurus, which hopefully this Pachyrhinosaurus can get out of this situation, but, you know, I think he can make it. But then we've got Darius, Kenji, and an unknown figure, which, judging from his structure, might be the same guy who was in the other 2 shots with the phone, and also Kenji decking an Atrociraptor. Might be that man, although, judging from his stance, he might actually be someone else. I don't know, it might be Mr. Khan, actually, because I think he might return. He should, actually. And we see an Atrociraptor, which I think this one is... I can't tell. I think that one is Ghost. Then we see Yaz reaching for Sammy as she's running for her life, which we don't see what's chasing her, but probably from what we saw, it's possibly the Beckelspinax. And yes, here we go. We get the shot of Kenji just absolutely punching the face out of the Atrociraptor, which the Atrociraptor's probably like, what the hell? What did I do to deserve that? Everyone else is just like, huh? And then we see the Bechtel Spinax looking very, very menacing and really good coloring. It's got a nice charcoal green look to it with a red blood face. That is nice. And of course he's grabbing someone by the leg, and that guy's not gonna make it most likely. He doesn't look like a main character, so he's getting the cut from the scene. So, yep, goodbye. And then, yep, we see Bechtel Spinax going after the vehicle again, and we get the shot of, it just like trying to reach in, like, hey, you guys got any space in there? Come on, I need a ride to the next bus station. Come on, please. Then we get a shocking moment. We get a T-Rex foot. And we'll talk about it in a minute because it's absolutely awesome. We get another Atrociraptor. There's a lot of Atrociraptor shots, and this one looks actually really gorgeous as it rears up and roars all menacingly, I think. Well, I can't tell, but then we get a shot of something blasting open a door to this warehouse facility that we've seen a few times in the trailer. And we get a Atrociraptor just like literally like a foot away from Darius. Like, I think his hand is like in the shot touching it, which I'm just like, have you seen Jurassic World Evolution 2? Do you know how the Owen Grady gesture works on Atrociraptors? Yeah, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And we get the shot of the van with the campers going into the off the bridge, and as we saw in the previous shot, into the water, and unfortunately Bechtel Spinax goes with them. And then we get our shot of Allosaurus running again, and then we get the holy Jesus, we get Big Edie making a return from Camp Cretaceous Season 4 and 5 from Manticore Island. And it's clear she's not on Manticore anymore, which just leaves me to wonder, what happened to Manticore Island? It's probably what got Ben into the situation to begin with, as he was working with the people on Manticore Island. And then we get some craziness as Darius starts talking and then is running with the Allosaurus right behind him and a taser in his hand as if it's a flare, which, I mean, bright light, it's going to attract something. And I mean, just look at that blind eye. Like, it looks absolutely stunning. And judging from the environment, it looks like we're going to get another battle between T-Rex and another carnivore, which I hope that this doesn't lead to another situation where T-Rex helps. I mean, it's an Allosaurus. It is smaller, so based on how they've treated every carnivore, it's basically size does matter, which in case of like T-Rex especially, no it doesn't. It would wreck or wrecks the entire competition realistically. But hopefully this leads to a glorious fight. And that is the end of the trailer, and I gotta say, this is absolutely a smashing trailer. The first one was very like fast-paced, just like trying to get everything there, basically to get the hype. This one really gives you the look of the story. This one really gives you the tone that we're really gonna feel. Not just action, but very horror elements as well. Much darker than most of Camp Cretaceous. Might even be darker than Season 3, as the creators have implied. So definitely loads of questions, loads of excitement, but I want to save those questions for other videos because there's loads of questions. But I want to ask you guys, are you guys excited about this? And most importantly, what are you hoping to see in Chaos Theory? And how far do you think this story is going to go? I want to hear all your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Maybe leaving a like, maybe subscribing. Be safe out there, and remember that you are all amazing. Never forget that. And until the next one, guys, enjoy yourself.